Khurram Qadir which was not to do with You know, at the beginning of the year we make resolutions, and it's very good to make new resolutions. I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing, but most often, and which is natural, the resolutions are about yourself, and that's good. But I think that we need to ask ourselves this question: have we ever started a new year making a resolution that we're going to be more proactive in taking care of our communities, our brothers and sisters, or doing things that impact other people's lives? And if we're honest to ourselves, I think, I can say for myself, most of my resolutions were centered on myself. So this is something that we need to develop. It's just an example. At the beginning of the year, we're going to start new, fresh, start of the year. We can sit down and think, this year, let me set some goals that are not about myself. Let me set some goals that are about, and pick a project. You can, and there's lots of resources. You can find out through the network of Islamic communities, Masjid, CFCGYC, to see what are the needs of the community, what are the needs in the Masjid, where can you volunteer, where can you make a difference, and try to get into the habit of going out and getting a little outside your comfort zone. This is the problem. The problem is we are uncomfortable, which is what we're installed, being outside our comfort zone. We start uncomfortable when it comes to doing these things. It's uncomfortable physically, obviously, especially in the winter. But we also emotionally get uncomfortable when we're dealing with people, other people. We don't like to go to other people's homes or communities because it's just, it's just uncomfortable. You're outside your comfort zone. But if everybody feels like that, they just stay in their comfort zone, then very little community work is going to be done. Ibn Tayyib Rahimahullah said a beautiful thing. He said, if you live for yourself, you'll be comfortable, but you live small and you'll die small. If you live for yourself, yes, you'll be comfortable, you'll live small and you'll die small. And to dissect that, it means, yes, you won't have a lot of worries. You may have worries about, paying your own bills, but you will generally be comfortable. But you will live small, like you will be an unknown person, and you will die unknown. And then he said that if you live for other people, you will have difficulties, but you will live big, and you will die big, and you will be resurrected with the great people on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah. So, living for other people is hard. Losing sleep about other people is hard, because there's a lot of suffering and there's a lot of difficulties out there. But of course, we're not saying that you should overwhelm yourself, because that's not healthy either. And there's a lot of things that you can do, and you can't tackle everything, but you know that you can do something. No, we're not saying that we should go and solve world hunger and world poverty and solve the water crisis of the world, but we're just saying, pick a project. Pick something small that you can chew and digest and you can bring it to fruition. Make it a 1-year project. Make it a 6-month project. Maybe make it a 3-month project. Pick a project and then work on it. Make it easy for yourself. Make it doable. And make it doable so that you can actually see the results of it. And like as the words of the Quran says, if you save one life, it's like you save the whole of humanity. If you kill one person, it's like you kill all of mankind. If you save one person from distress, if you save one person from anguish, if you relieve the sufferings and the difficulties and the financial hardships or the emotional hardships of one person, maybe Allah will give you the reward like you've done this for the whole of humanity. Because Allah's treasures are infinite. So, I say this to myself before I talk to my community here. that we should try to think on this hadith, that the most beloved people to Allah are those who are beneficial to other people. And so let us try our best to be among those who are beloved to Allah through this. The hadith that talk about other acts, Rasulullah brings up other traits and other acts also, and other deeds. But this is a very powerful, it's a life-changing hadith. To me, it's life-changing because we want to gain the pleasure of Allah. We want to be beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is one means of guaranteeing Allah's love. Living a life, being beneficial to others, helping others. And so I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to look away from our own needs and wants all the time, and also sometimes to start looking at the needs and wants and the difficulties that other people are suffering from. And I will finish by going through the verse of the Quran that I started with, Khurram Qadir, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us in Surah Baqarah, verse 273, that charity, sadaqah, is for the poor in need who engage and are confined in the cause of Allah, who cannot travel about earth to earn livelihood. An ignorant person would think them wealthy because they abstain to beg due to self-respect. An ignorant person might see these poor people, and the poor people may not look poor, they may be dressed decently, but the ignorant person may think that these people are wealthy because they abstain to beg due to their self-respect. You can recognize these people, you can recognize them by their appearance. They do not beg from people at all, pressing their demands. And whatever you spend of good things, that indeed Allah knows all of it. So the point of this verse is that there are people out there, and he uses the word fuqara, really, really destitute. There's faqir and there's maskeen. The difference is the maskeen has something. He's poor, but he has something. A faqir has nothing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says there are fuqara, there are faqirs, really destitute people that are out there, and they're engaged in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or they're busy, or they're so in such dire straits, such difficult straits, that they can't even travel around the earth and seek livelihood. And then, we might be so busy that we don't even notice these people. There could be people in this mosque that are knowing difficulties and hardship. They may be praying next to you, but you don't know them. So we need to seek out these people. They're not going to come to us knocking on the doors, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you that these people out of self-respect will not come and beg. They will not come and seek their assistance. But our job is to seek them, to find them, and then to help them. There is a request for dua from a brother from our community, Munir Akhtar. He has a relative who is in New York, and he is unwell. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's got COVID. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give this gentleman Shifa Kamil, speedy recovery from his illness, and give Shifa Kamil speedy recovery to all of those who are suffering from COVID or any ailment that is affecting this world. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب اللهم رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله